If you are selecting or changing a method that affects when you recognize COGS, confirm requirements with a tax professional and follow the IRS process. COGS recognition with FBA. Most sellers recognize COGS when a unit is shipped to a customer because it is no longer available for sale. With FBA, that typically lines up with a shipped order in Amazon reports. Use order level detail and FBA inventory movement to tie quantities shipped to your cost layers and retain supplier invoices to support unit costs. Whether you use FIFO or weighted average, consistency is key. Track receiving dates and unit costs for each inbound to FBA. If you later change your cost flow method for tax purposes, understand the approval requirements in Publication 538 and maintain documentation that bridges old and new methods. Returns and refunds. Returns require two decisions: revenue and inventory. First, book the refund to sales returns and allowances. Then decide how inventory is affected. If Amazon returns a sellable unit to stock, reverse the original COGS at the same unit cost and increase inventory. If the unit is unsellable, record a write-down and keep Amazon's return and disposition evidence. Reimbursements. Amazon may reimburse you when inventory is lost or damaged under its control. When a reimbursement posts, save the case file and reimbursement report. Then record the accounting impact in line with your policy and document the choice consistently. Fee review and periodic assessment. FBA and referral fees can move your margin more than you expect. Set a monthly review to compare actual fees to expectations by SKU or product group. Keep advertising and promotions in their own expense lines so ROI analysis remains visible. A month-end reconciliation checklist. Download and archive the settlement reports for the month along with order, refund, promotion, and reimbursement detail. Reconcile gross sales, refunds, and adjustments from Amazon reports to your sales ledger totals. Post marketplace and FBA fees to operating expense accounts. Do not net them against sales or hide them in COGS. Compute and record COGS for units confirmed shipped in the month. Compare the Amazon inventory snapshot to the general ledger inventory balance and research any variance line by line. Record Amazon reimbursements or inventory write-offs and attach the related case files or disposition reports. Complete bank reconciliations so deposits and withdrawals match statements. Post necessary adjusting entries. Refer to the adjusting entries guide as needed. Save all reports and supporting vendor documents for your retention period in an organized folder structure. Typical reconciling items table, illustrative. Reconciling item Y. It happens suggested ledger action deposit timing difference. 1 payout covers multiple settlement windows. Use a clearing account. Reconcile per settlement and clear next period. Missing fee line. Late applied fee posts after your report cutoff record and accrual or adjust in the next period with a note. Inventory shrinkage. Lost, damaged, or unaccounted units within FBA. Open an Amazon case. Write off unsalvageable units with documentation. Keep a dated reconciliation worksheet that ties settlement subtotals to ledger postings and to bank deposits. Attach it to your month-end file along with the source reports. What to bring to a tax preparer or bookkeeper. When you ask a preparer or bookkeeper to review your Amazon records, bring these items so the review moves quickly and nothing material is guessed at. Amazon settlement reports for the tax year and current year-to-date. FBA inventory reports showing quantities, reserve stock, and disposition. Supplier invoices and receipts supporting the inventory costs per SKU. Bank statements and merchant account statements covering the same periods. Advertising invoices and campaign spend reports. Documentation for Amazon reimbursements, claims, and appeal. Sales tax filings and reports. If you collect sales tax, your preparer may reference IRS Publication 538 and Publication 583 when advising on inventory and period issues. Organizing these items up front shortens the review and reduces follow-up questions. See the guide to understanding financial statements and the cash flow overview for a refresher on how sales, COGS, operating expenses, and cash movement line up in a typical close. Why this guide is different. The closest related page on this site covers inventory methods in a different context. This guide focuses on Amazon settlement reports, marketplace and fulfillment fees, refunds, returns, and the FBA inventory records that drive COGS. It stays centered on the reconciliation points that commonly misstate revenue, distort COGS, or trigger tax adjustments for FBA sellers. What you will see emphasized here: specific steps, disciplined archiving, and a clear audit trail. The approach maps Amazon line items to your chart of accounts, documents exceptions, and equips you to explain variances to your lender, accountant, or a tax authority without rebuilding a month from scratch. Professional next step: if you want a quick review of your monthly settlement and inventory workflow or help setting up the accounting mappings, contact Daniel Sandler, CPA for an initial discussion. Contact Daniel Sandler, CPA. Consider asking a preparer to review one closed month end. Have them validate the settlement mapping, sample a SKU's COGS calculation, and examine your reconciliation worksheet. A repeatable inventory review makes settlement reporting easier to interpret. Frequently asked questions: should I book an Amazon deposit as sales? No. Treat the deposit as a cash receipt. Use the settlement report to post gross sales, refunds, and each fee line. Then reconcile the deposit to that report during bank reconciliation so cash ties out to the detail. How often should an FBA seller reconcile inventory? Monthly at a minimum. Higher volume sellers or thin margin operations may reconcile more often. Use Amazon inventory reports and purchase records to verify quantities and costs, and keep documentation consistent with general IRS record-keeping guidance. What documents should I keep for Amazon inventory purchases? Keep vendor invoices, purchase orders, bills of lading or shipping confirmations, FBA inbound confirmations, and any customs documents when applicable. These support your inventory cost basis and align with the record-keeping expectations described by the IRS.